Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. My name is Savannah Playford, the Director of Youth Ministry at Dixon United Methodist Church. Whenever you are watching this, welcome to today's daily devotion. I am here to share a product with you. But first, let me ask you a few questions. Do you ever get anxious? Do you ever get worried? Do you ever get anxious or worried and keep those feelings inside and let them stir up inside of you? If you have said yes to any of the previous questions, then I have a product, a Bible verse for you. Philippians 4:6-7 says this: Don't be anxious about anything. Rather, bring up all of your requests to God in your prayers and petitions, along with giving thanks. Then the peace of God that exceeds all understanding will keep your hearts and minds safe in Christ Jesus. I know, it may seem like a joke, but these verses are really helpful, and they have been very helpful for me. I know that I don't seem like it, but I'm an anxious person. I get stressed out so much about work and about school. I get anxious about certain social situations and stupid little things like, do I look okay? How are people perceiving me? Is my hair look okay? Are my shoes dirty? Little things like this that mean basically nothing to other people, but sometimes it really stresses me out. I'm sure that you have some of those too. But can you imagine if we never had to worry ever again? Never worry about responsibilities like work and school, home life, social life, nothing. Can you imagine that? It seems almost impossible, but in the verses, Paul leads us to know otherwise. You see, in these verses, Paul is talking to the Philippian Christians and telling them how they can turn to God for anything. And through that prayer, God will help them. You see, as someone with a psych degree, I know that what we put into our minds determines what comes out in our words and our actions. And you see, Paul is reminding us here to reprogram ourselves and to run to God first, to put God first when we are having any issues or anxiousness, worries, anything like that, to pray about it and take it to God. We should enjoy our fellowship with one another and be positive so we can experience peace through the power of God. So as I mentioned, Paul is pushing us to reprogram ourselves. So when I was getting ready for this daily devotion, I usually look things up on the internet and search different commentaries, but this week I wanted to reprogram myself and go back to the traditional Bible that I have in my room that I honestly haven't touched in a few weeks. So I pulled out my old college Bible that has lots of sticky notes postings written all over it, and as I came to these verses, I found an old sticky note that said, God's peace is different than worldly peace. Worry less, smile more. And that really stuck with me. Worry less, smile more. There is so much to be worried about. There always will be something to be worried about. I mean, the world's opening up after coronavirus. Maybe you're worried about what that looks like. Some of us are going back to school in person, or maybe some people you know are going back to school in person. Maybe that worries you. Worries me how hot it's getting for the summer because I hate being hot and sweaty. There is so many things to worry about. But I challenge you as you go about your day to worry less and smile more.